I see you on there.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hello, hello, hello. Just waiting on some people to pop in here. I am especially waiting for Lisa Jade to pop in here. If anybody knows how to get a hold of her, please send her this way. Hey, Cool Gamer, how are you? Hello, Emily. I see you. That girl, Lisa. Hello. Ramona. Hello. You know, I used to go to school with a girl named Ramona. Just waiting on people to get in here, guys. Oh, Susan Bright. Jack. Hello. Nanos for Life. Hello. Toodles. Hello, everybody. Just giving a few minutes. I'm waiting on Lisa J to pop in here, guys. Anybody know how to get a hold of her? Evidently, Lisa J is trying to find out my government name. I would like to know what she's needing my government name for. Does anybody have a clue? No one should need or want your government name at all, especially anyone on here. WTF is wrong with some people. I don't know, but I've been getting text messages telling me that she's looking for my government name. Corey, I cannot find Nathaniel Summer Jr.'s information. Cannot even find that person. If you can please email me a link to where you found that baby's information, because I was planning on doing a video about him. I know Lisa has her own channel. I know she does. But I ain't going to somebody else's channel. She's the one wanting the information. She can come over here. And y'all know I don't do drama. I don't. And when I did that video about her living in the house with that monster, I did not go after her. I did not have anything bad to say about Lisa. I said it was awful that she and her child had to stay in the house with that monster. So why she's wanting and needing my government name, I'd like to know. And that way, if she has any, she has any plans of putting my government name out there, doxing me, we all know where it come from then. And there is nothing that I ain't already told myself. So bring it on, Lisa. Corey, I looked for Nathaniel Summers also and couldn't find nothing. Yeah, I can't. If anybody has any information about Nathaniel Summers Jr., he's 1 year old missing, please let us know. Corey, do you remember where he's missing from? Dina, honey, like I said, I just got a text message telling me that she's out here asking around, trying to get my information. And yes, granted, it could be just somebody trying to start bullcrap. But if it is, then Lisa J can come up here and say, nope, I never asked for that information. You sent her the link in 2 different places. What link? Your home state. Oh, Mississippi. Okay. Thank you, Ramona. I agree. I do agree. I don't need your government name nor PG's. It's stalker like that. Anyone cares that much. Exactly. We're on here just trying to, and I hate to say the word, but that's what it is, entertain people. And trying to find out the information we can about these children. What, I mean, it's not like I'm out here committing crimes or something. Why? What's the purpose of knowing my name? And trust me, it's not like I keep it a secret, guys. There's lots of yous that have my personal phone numbers that know my name. More drama. Why would she? I don't know, honey. And I don't do drama. Y'all know I don't. But when I get upset, and people know about it. Trust me. And for some reason, this just did something to me this morning. And they have no idea who they're messing with. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I completely agree, Discovering. Yes, that is the one. Yes. And I didn't say anything bad about her staying in that shed, except for I would like to talk to her about it. Well, thank you, ICU. I appreciate that. And I hope I'm not a suspect in any case. Any case at all. That's right. Go straight to the source. Thank you, ICU. Well, we're waiting, guys. If anybody knows how to get a hold of her, please ask her. Tell her I'm waiting. If she's wanting to know who I am so bad, she can come on up here. I don't care to tell her. I don't have anything to hide. Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay. I don't know why we can't find nothing online about that, babe. But it's not on there anywhere that I can find. Hello, Tennessee Blonde. Lisa J, we're waiting, hun. Good morning, Patricia. Hope all is well. Hello, Eve. Hope you're doing good this morning. Shalima, it's good to see you always, hun. Eve, can I ask you a personal question? Is that a picture of you on your profile? I'm just waiting. I'm guess I'm feeling a little bit better. That happens when I get upset, I guess. But yeah, seems like I'm feeling a little bit better. My son's not though, and he wound up still having to go to work today. That is you. Okay, well, didn't we just celebrate like one of your later birthdays? You know, later birthdays in life, didn't we? This is turning out to be a compliment, Eve. I promise, honey. I promise. Because if I'm not mistaken, and I remember what your birthday was that you celebrated not too long ago, you look dang good, lady. You dang sure don't look your age, if I'm remembering correctly. That's what people take a look at her profile picture. Does she look 71? No way. I don't look that good at 54. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate it, hon. I don't know if I know how to copy this, but view page source. Nope, that wasn't it. Okay, well, anyways, we've got it here. We'll be able to go look it up. Thank you, hon. Lisa J, I'm waiting. If please anybody know how to get a hold of her. I do not like sitting around wondering and waiting. Wow. Is it Candace Lee? You look good for 71 too, hon. Hello, Dippy. She has a live scheduled at 5 o'clock. Well, honey, I'm not going on her channel. She's the one that's wanting the information. If she wants my information, she can at least show enough respect to come over here and ask me for it. What do you say, Dippy? Do you think I'm hiding who I am? Take the link, Dippy, and I'll tell you what's going on. I don't believe it's a cousin. I believe it's somebody that's local around there that is just wanting their 15 minutes of fame. They may or may not know something, but they're just saying that they're Candace's cousin just to get more attention. Okay, while we're waiting, does anyone have the dates Don's dad and Karen were married? It's not, that when dad, yeah, okay. No, I don't have it. What'd you get striked for, Dippy? Gotta stop doing things that are wrong. I don't know anything about why she wants your name, but did you hear in Ernie's chat a few days ago, Tina said you were Tamori? I told them you were not. No, I did not hear Tina say that. I'm going to have to call Tina up and ask her why she said that. I have literally talked to Tina on the phone, guys, her and her husband both. They live literally right up the road from me. No, I know people don't need to know my personal information. Hey, lady.
Hey.
There's Ethel.
Nah, he's in the background somewhere.
It's a picture of him.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
I was contacted by somebody and told me that Lisa J is trying to find out my government name.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Hey, Dumpling, how are you today, hon?
That's kind of weird.
So it must be a distraction. It's all I can figure out because supposedly CW don't even know the lady from what I've heard. Right, that's what I'm saying. If it was Candace's cousin, don't we think that Candace's cousin would be staying at Candace's house or talking with Candace? And I mean, I don't know how many cousins that Candace has, but the one that I do know of that I've spoke to is not the kind of person that would be coming down here and telling shit like that. She takes up for Candace.
Question.
She loves Candace.
What phone call?
What do you
I
mean?
still haven't heard it.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Oh, the Lisa J thing?
No, what you were talking about with Candace.
Oh, some woman called into Dolly's channel the other day and then went on Ziggy's channel and then went on Doug's channel, from what I hear, saying that she is Candace's cousin. And she's saying that basically that it was a mistake, Summer being took, that it was supposed to have been Marlena's daughter instead. And that accidentally, because obviously Marlena's daughter was took back home before she was supposed to have been, they accidentally took Summer instead. And this is supposedly Candace's cousin that's telling all these secrets.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay, then. I mean,
The
I'm
fake-
not saying that, it couldn't be plausible, but I just don't think somebody would come out the blue after 2 years, almost 2 years to say it now.
right, exactly. The fake cousin is such a joke, in my opinion. Allegedly, she said Spider was arrested early morning hours of June 15th, 2021. He was arrested July 15th, 2021. Oh, and yeah, she even give names of the two people that were arrested or busted when Dudley got busted. That supposedly was the ones that did it. Yeah.
There's just a bunch of shit going on, and I got striked, so I can't. I got mad because I can't go live, so I haven't been on. So
You heard that information from me months ago. Thank you, Versi. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Oh, let me tell y'all something else too. Listen, you're talking about you heard this from me months ago. Listen, do y'all remember not too long ago, Doug? And I'm not saying anything bad about Doug, but Doug put out the information where Hunter makes the statement that they found out about Summer being missing moments before they dropped him off or whatever it was, right? I'm going through my old videos yesterday, and guess what I found over a year ago? I did a video on that very thing, on that very statement over a year ago. So I guess Doug is sort of late to the game, huh?
well, he's just like, oh, I'm going over everything all over again.
I know. I don't get me wrong. I love Doug. I wasn't saying nothing bad about him. I was just like, when I found that, I told Discovery, I was like, oh wow, I can't believe I'd already found that months ago. Months ago.
You got me wanting to know why the hell she wants your name, why she wants your government name.
Well, you want to know. I want to know.
I'm trying to figure out what chat I've seen her in. I don't know her, but
She's been in my chat. She's been in my chat. She's the one that knew Dawn and Candace way back when Candace was married to Richard and all that.
Wait, Lisa K is
No,
Mama
not Lisa K.
No. I was going to ask them a question. Did she ever go to Andrew's chat? Because I think that's where I've seen her at.
The Lisa J that I'm talking about is that Lisa Jetton or Jetta or Jetta.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah.
And I think she goes into Andrew's every now and then.
We should all, even as subscribers, help the creators go through videos, right?
You talking about some Jade with the cat pic? I think so.
Yeah, or are you reading that one? The same one I just read? Is she the one that talks really loud? Yeah, I think so.
No, I was reading Mama Bear's, the one with the cat pic on her, for her avatar.
Oh.
Because if it is that Lisa J, she goes into Andrew's chat.
Right. Maxie Machine. We all know what this is. You never do drama, but you also don't do bullshit. So we are here to support you. And why would anyone want anyone's government name? I changed my handle because of the Mean Girls, right? Exactly. But I don't do Mean Girls. I mean, if she's got a question for me, let her come and ask me. I have no reason to lie, and I am not keeping nothing secret. I mean, Lord, go watch some of my past videos. I've put everything, every time I've ever broke the laws out there on one of my videos, I guarantee it. Especially if you watch the ones with John Davis in them. Because plain and simple, they ain't nobody going to have nothing up on me. They ain't nobody going to be able to throw shit up on me and say, oh, look what we found. No, old Nana's already put her information out there, so ain't nobody got nothing on me. Sorry. You're just my go-to yell at person. You popped into chat. It's your own fault.
Hey. At least I'm good for something.
Oh, you're good for more than just that.
All right, Edgy.
I just
OG
popped
said,
on a few minutes ago. What? Your government name? Yeah. Lisa J's wanting my government name. So
OG said, hey. She had to
tell
go
her I
back to
said,
work.
hey.
And Echo said he'll be out in a minute. He's getting dressed for work.
Okay. Tell Ethel I said hello.
I think he's going to come speak to you because he hasn't talked to you in a while. He was asking about you the other day. He said, as far as I know, she's one of the ones out of the people I know that has pneumonia right now.
Yeah, me and my son, and that was somebody else was
Cher.
telling me last night that
Cher
they
has it.
Yeah, Cher, that's who it was, Cher.
I
Yeah.
felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, it's like everybody that is close to me is getting it now.
Yeah.
I started it.
Lisa J, are you hiding in the bushes? Yeah, exactly. Are you hiding in the bushes? BR549. I will.
I promise we don't fight. We just like to know the truth.
Well, yeah, we just want to know why you're wanting my name. Well, I mean,
Like,
good God, are you trying to do something illegal against me or something?
come on now.
Because trust me, if anything happens to me or my family, we'll know who to come after. I mean, well, not come after, you know what I mean. Turn into law if something illegal happens to me. That's I don't hold back. If somebody's wanting my name, I'll tell you my name. But then we're gonna know who to go for when blame needs to be laid.
Did you read what Marlena wrote?
No, hang on. Did this lady fall off the stupid tree or what? Government name. Lady, you got some nerve to even think you're entitled to that information. Exactly.
Hello.
I don't think she hates you.
No, I didn't. Hello, Ethel.
Ow, my
Ethel
toe!
is here.
Ethel, get some clothes on.
I got some on this time.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to go to work.
How are you doing, darling?
I'm doing good. Been waiting on my sister-in-law to wake up. I put vinyl windows and stuff on my brother's house, and but she works third shift, so I've been waiting on her to wake up so I can go over there and run some more siding. She just woke. They just texted me, "Someone will run over there and work for a couple of hours
Before it starts raining again.
Hopefully, it don't rain
Yeah.
till dark anyway. I can get 3 or 4 hours in.
Well, I hope and pray you get work
We
in.
got both sides in the front run. We got to get started on the back, but hopefully we can get it.
Right.
Hopefully it'll rain and hold off till the rest of the day anyway. It can rain tonight. Just don't want it to rain.
I don't
It's
know.
like
You never
a couple
know.
of hours.
You never know. It changes from 1 minute to the
Yeah,
next.
Tyler said it's been raining over there on and off since 10:30. He said it's
But
been
it
like
ain't
coming.
rained today, but it rained all day yesterday, it seemed like.
It rained all
over
weekend.
here, right here on the East Coast by the ocean and shit. Like
She's in Tennessee.
Well, I'm saying a rainstorm will come up in like 20 minutes. Between the heat, you know what I'm saying, that it's so humid, a damn storm will come up and it'll be just enough to make it humid as hell.
And that what month are we in? We're going into June, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting ready to be hurricane season.
Oh, but can anybody tell me who Elizabeth, what was her name? Elizabeth what? Wales discovering. Do you remember what the middle name was? Grace, I think.
Somebody told me to look her up, and I totally forgot about it.
I don't know if that woman thinks that's what my name is or what, but evidently she's the psychic. She's convinced evidently that I'm involved in Summer's disappearance or something.
Oh Lord, here we go
she
again.
got the hot for now.
Yeah, I know.
Say, come on, I got something you can play with.
But I promise my name is not Elizabeth at
I
all.
promise
Or Wells.
I promise you, it ain't Elizabeth.
So I want you to come up here and peel my name.
I can tell you this much: her name is not a common name. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
That's about as far as I'm going.
So. I'm
yesterday I got called okay, people, please don't take this offensive. But yesterday when I went to the store, I swear to God, this person called me every white girl's name in the book. I was Crystal, Tiffany, Brittany.
Ashley.
I was everything but what my real name is.
Diana, by the way, I don't know if you've seen on my community tab, but I wanted to say thank you.
Eva.
Am I pulling a PGA or prayer
Oh
garden?
gosh. No.
There you go, Mama Bear. Nana's angel, or Nana's name is Nana's Angels. There you go.
There you go. Miss with just one extra N.
Marlena says her name is None Your Damn Business.
Yeah, Ethel said Nunya.
That's right. That's what my name is, Nunya. I feel a little bit better, Suzette. I think I'm getting better. I hope so, anyways. Hello,
I'm
Miss
glad-
Messy Jessie.
Glad you took your stubborn butt to the doctor and they caught it in time.
Well, yeah, but I still haven't gotten the medicine. I still haven't been able to afford to get it.
Which medicine?
Huh?
Which one did they give you?
They gave me a Z-Pack, which is antibiotic. They gave me amoxicillin, which is an antibiotic. They gave me the albuterol breathing treatments. They gave me.
What do you need? The nebulizer?
No, I've got the the medicine. It's sitting at Walmart. They gave me the what is the steroids? I never can remember the name of it. Prednisone, yes. They gave me prednisone, and then they gave me Tesla pearls or something like that for the cough.
Yeah, I got all of the pearl things. Oh my God. But I got all of that while I was in the hospital. So when I got out, all I needed was the albuterol stuff for the nebulizer and then pearls. And then pearls really work. Really work. When we get off here, call me.
Okay. Her name is Pudding Tane. Ask me again, I'll tell you the same. I ain't heard that in forever. What's going on? Oh, Lisa J is wanting my name, my government name. So I'm here offering it up to her if she's willing to come on panel and ask me for it. I have nothing to hide, guys. I do not.
And have a good reason at least why you want it.
Yeah. Ramona, they put the good RX on there, honey, but it's still close to $100.
See, the Walmart thing has that $4 plan.
No, yeah, and I brought that up to them, and they're like, the $4 thing. How does the doctor's office know what medicines we charge $4 for? They don't have a list of our medications.
It should be all generic.
She said that would be like us trying to tell you what the doctor's office is going to charge you. I'm not joking. That woman was being a bee.
Woo! You better than me because I'd have done cursed her out from here to Timbuktu. Do you have is there a Walgreens or anything, CVS closer to you than Walmart?
Yeah, but Walmart's the cheapest around here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I hate Walmart.
So what if you do break a law? What can they do about it? Not a thing. Exactly. There's Leslie J. Hey, y'all. Hope everyone's doing well. You may be in the bushes, but what reasons, I'm going to ask, has Nana given you for you wanting her government name? Thank you, Mama Bear, because as far as I know, I haven't. I haven't said anything bad about her. The only thing that I have literally said is repeated what she said on my panel, which was she lived in the house with that monster and had her baby boy living in the house with that monster.
Somebody said earlier in the chat that she's been making her rounds, so it just could be your turn.
Thank you, Beck. Yeah, well, she's evidently upset over that video I did. I don't know why, but she's most definitely not Elizabeth, and she's not involved in Summers. Maybe we should ask this lady if she is. Right? What? Oh,
A
It's
bunch of
okay.
BS.
If Lisa J's involved in Summer's disappearance.
She seems to know an awful lot, but they don't know who she is, right?
No, they remembered her finally.
Oh,
Her and Dawn was sitting on Prayer Garden's channel and they were discussing the old days. But that was after she came on my panel and was talking about and explaining how her and Francine's husband and her boyfriend James and all the kids were living in the shed behind Dawn and Pam's house.
I did hear that, but I don't remember where I heard that from.
It was on my panel.
Is that here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew I heard it. I just didn't remember where.
She jogged Dawn's memory.
All right. I got one more month of freedom and then trials start back up.
So how much? What did the monsters with the last name West? What kind of crap did they get?
And they
I mean, what was their sentence?
they haven't been sentenced yet. Their sentence is until July 13th.
Okay.
And the the state has till then to come up with what they're going to do about the two mistrial counts. They both got mistrial on count 5 and 6, or 4 and 5, which it has to do with Orson West.
No, honey, I'm talking about Lisa J. Lisa Jetton, or whatever her name is. And trust me, when the person that texted me and told me, I asked them who was trying to get my information from them. And she said it was a woman by the name of Lisa, and she spelled out the last name. So it's not a mistake. Hello, Justin.
She's too funny. Hey, Jay. She's too funny.
Who's too funny?
Discovery. She said, "Damn, Dippy, your memory is as bad as mine." She said, "We're getting old."
Yeah.
I think I left my memory back when I started covering the paranormal stuff.
Trust me, y'all are not old. Wait till you get my age. Nana, do you realize this is Ashley? No, I didn't realize it. Hello, Ashley. I've not been able to catch up with you in a while. I miss being here. I hope you are doing good and feeling better. Thank you, baby. No, I didn't realize it was you, sweetheart. You keep changing your name.
I thought I came in here under my... How am I allowed on somebody else's panel with this profile, but I can't go live myself?
I don't know.
This is crazy. YouTube, you about retarded.
Now, let's not offend YouTube.
Ugh. I don't pay attention unless you're on Twitter.
Suzette, I don't think you are, babe.
I don't know. My husband seems to think you're younger than I am.
No, I'm not. Trust me.
He was so funny. He said next time you're on the phone with her, I'm gonna start messing with her heart. And I was like, don't mess with her. He's like, I am. I'm gonna tell her I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna steal her. She gonna come home with me and I'm leaving you for her. And I'm like, don't mess with her. I was like, oh, you're gonna get. I said, don't get her going.
How old is he?
38.
He's younger than my oldest son. He's younger than my two oldest sons. Oh, Lord.
God, that man is something else. Because when I told him you were sick,
is not coming. We need a resurgence of people putting up missing flyers for Sincere and Classic. Hi, Sharon.
When I
We
told
love
him
you too, Justin. By the way, I did read your thing. We love you too, Justin. Thank you for being here, babe.
he said that after I told him you were sick.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I said, I'm not going to call her until I know she's feeling better because I said, just being on the phone when I was sick, it would kind of hurt a lot trying to talk.
What R word, Angela? Have we said any R words that are disrespectful?
I don't know.
Unless it's retarded. And guys, that is still a technical term, medical term. There is no law against saying it.
Especially if we're talking about like my husband.
Yeah. That is not a medical term.
Prayer Garden's here.
Prayer Garden. Well, hello,
Yeah.
Prayer Garden. Would you like to come up on panel? Here you go.
It's been changed to intellectually challenged.
Prayer Garden. I dropped the link if you would like to come up.
The only person I would call that to is my husband, and I have that right. I've been with that man for 14 years.
Actually, it's not intellectually challenged. It's the initials is ID is what you're supposed to use. ID. I don't remember what it's for, but it's ID. But and that is just a suggestion.
Developmentally or
Disabled.
Disabled. DD.
Hello. Can you hear me, Prayer Garden?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you doing today?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Okay.
Hello.
That's
Okay.
better. Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me, sweetie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You doing okay today?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Do you have a clue what Miss Lisa J might be wanting my government name for?
I have no clue. You are not the only one, though, that is coming to me with this issue. So, I don't know. I tried to call her to ask her what exactly is she doing, searching people and their private life and their private business. That's unacceptable. That's very unacceptable out here in the true crime community where the creators and the people in our chats are concerned. Our private, we are all here for one reason, and that is for these
Exactly.
missing children. And our personal lives and our personal business is nobody's damn business but our own.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I've even said the same thing about you when everybody was trying to, track you down or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're out here trying to help these kids.
Exactly. And as long as we're doing the righteous thing for these children, that's all that matters, right?
Right.
That's
I mean,
all that
I could
matters.
understand if I said something against her or if I was going after her or, if there was a reason. But as far as I know, I haven't done anything to her. I mean, if anybody could say anything about me doing something to them, you would be the one person that could say more than anybody else that I've done anything or said anything. And I mean, I try not to say anything bad, there either. Of course, I try not to have drama, period.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of hard out here in the YouTube world, but I think all of us as creators, for these missing children. I think all of us have, we deal with a lot of stress. I don't think people realize how much, we go through doing what we do for these missing children. We put in a lot of hours and a lot of time, and we put together a lot of content, and we do a lot of research. Can be overwhelming and exhausting. And then, and we're human like everybody else, right? So
Exactly.
when we hear something, or we you know don't hear it right, sometimes we don't hear it right, we just go off,
Yeah, we
we
make mistakes like
we
everybody.
do, we absolutely do. And but that's living and learning. That's living and learning. And the biggest lesson I've learned lately is, embrace the people that are truly here for these missing children. Embrace the people that are truly here for the right reasons.
I agree 100%.
That's the one thing that I have absolutely, God has learned me lately.
Right. And you were saying it gets to us. It does. When I went to the doctor the other day and I started explaining to her, because see, I suffer from bipolar and PTSD and all these different things, but I can't take any medication because it messes with my um involuntary muscles, swallowing, breathing, that kind of stuff. So I can't take medication. And I was explaining to her getting on YouTube and starting into YouTube channel helped in the beginning, but after a year and a half or a year, almost 2 years of sitting and listening to how parents are constantly hurting their children and these kids passing and getting gone and I just started squalling and I was like, it eats away at you. It really does. It gets to you and it's hard.
Yeah, because these children become a big part of your life. I mean, you get attached to these children. You truly want them found. You truly want justice for them. I mean, you feel their pain. You feel their sorrow. You feel, we're human. We
Yeah.
feel, and
And
of
whether
course,
it's right or wrong, we feel anger towards the people we feel caused the problem or
um,
caused the misery, caused the pain.
correct, correct, and that's normal human feelings. I mean, personally, I think that's the way you should feel. I when you see take the Summer Wells case for instance, you know when you see the parents acting out and doing what these parents are doing, when you see parents that are fighting more not to find their child than they are to find it, and they don't want their child in the spotlight, they want to be in the spotlight and get all the you know um everything for themselves. They want everyone to support them instead of supporting their daughter. How are you supposed to feel about this?
Right.
How is any human supposed to feel about this? I mean, this is totally freaking unnatural, right?
Yeah.
This is unnatural and
Oh,
and very disturbing. Yes,
the biggest that
absolutely.
video that I did, PG, that says the biggest lie Don's told yet. Now, granted, we all know there was a reason behind him telling that story. But who in their right mind, first of all, who in their right mind talks about supposedly one of their friends being an ex KGB agent who stole a jet from Russia and flew it to the United States?
And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Don and Candace Wells are willing to say anything. I mean, let us remember he said a UFO might have took her as well.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
true.
they are willing to say the most heinous things to get the attention off Summer back onto them, and some bullshit line that they put out. Um,
PG, can I ask you a question real quick? Because I keep hearing something. Do you have Tinkerbell in a cage?
I had Tinkerbell in a cage. No, I
What
might
is
have.
that? What
I
is
might
that
have. I
sound?
might have Tweety Bird in a cage, but I don't got no Tinkerbell.
I keep hearing like a Tinkerbell sound in your background. What is that? You know, like sparkling music or something. You know what I mean?
It might be angels. I do love God, right? Girl, it might be angels. Who knows?
I don't know. Does anybody else hear what I'm talking about? Every few minutes, it's just like Tinkerbell music. That's all I can describe it as.
Might be the angels singing. I'll have
Maybe.
to try to listen for that myself. Right?
Well, I didn't hear it until you came up on panel, so I don't think it's in Dippy. So
Right. Yeah.
No, not me.
Maybe that's the sound of silence. We don't
maybe.
get to hear that very often out here, do we?
Right. That's true. Hello, April C. I haven't seen you in a while. It's a ring alarm. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off track. It's just I kept hearing that, and I was like, you know, you had to have Tinkerbell. You know, see there it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you hear it?
They're absolutely right. That is my my alarm system.
Okay.
I was gonna say that's not me. I've been muted the whole time. So
Well, I didn't know if I was going crazy or not. I knew I kept hearing something. Yeah, it sounds almost like wind chimes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I very much believe in alarm systems. You know, if Don and Candace Wells would have had an alarm system, right? In
Yeah.
every community, I don't care how big or small, every community should, you know, invest in alarm systems. Not only, you know, an alarm system as in contacts law enforcement and so forth, but you should also, you know, it's not that expensive, and you should definitely get, you know, cameras. It's not a lot of money. You can, you know, they replace your doorbell. They keep, you know, surveillance of everything, and it really helps. And if, you know, the Wells would have had that, it helps keep your community safe. And if the Wells would have had that, or some of the people around the Wells would have had this, we might have more answers to what happened to Summer, right?
Yeah, that's true. If they had had
So
him, well, maybe. Maybe.
I think, well, put it this way. I think we'd have had a lot more answers, because we would have had people trying to erase surveillance
Yes.
upon
Yes,
their
there
own
you go.
property up there, if you ask me.
Yeah,
And that would have been, you know, that would have been an all tell sign right there.
exactly. Which we don't know. We don't know that there wasn't digital evidence that has been tried to be deleted. We don't know that there was.
I understand that there is a trail cam of a neighbor's, not Jody Sue, but a different neighbor, that did pick up surveillance of Candace leaving the driveway long before she came out at 6:09 talking to Donald.
Right.
So
What do you think about Don coming out and saying that he didn't work after 3:30? Prayer Garden. That he quit work at 3:30 and
but
never went back. And then headed home at 4:30, because that's supposedly when Candace called him and told him the baby was missing.
Where did Don say that at? Because I personally have not heard that.
On my panel, when he came up on my panel, he said that he was at work, or it may have been during the phone call I had, but I think it was on panel. But he said that he called her, you know, the phone call that supposedly took place at Walgreens when he called to find out what they were doing, and he decided he was going to work late because nobody was home. Well, he
Right.
says that that phone call was made at 3:30, and he decided, oh, he'd just go back to work because they weren't going to be at home. Well, at 3:30, she should have been sitting at her house. But anyways, then he says that his buddy came over and they sit down and talked for like an hour, and which would have made it 4:30. And that's when he was getting up and getting ready to go back to work, and Candace called him and told him the baby was missing, and that's when he headed home. He never went
Don,
back to work.
that's incorrect. That's incorrect because the particular guy that he was talking with did not even show up until 5:30 to speak with him and this particular buddy of his on the job site, the one that he's talking about. Donald, you're a liar, because the buddy he's talking about personally told law enforcement that he didn't talk with Donald, didn't, because he was finishing up when he went and actually talked to Donald. He was getting ready to knock off. It was around 5:30, and then the boss, Donald's boss, showed up as that guy was leaving. Donald's boss showed up, and that is around the time that that Candace called in and said that Summer, was missing. That was around 6:09, and Tucker, the boss Tucker, was the one that had, just recently had talked to Donald. But the other person Donald's talking about didn't even show up until around 5:30, and he has clarified that with law enforcement. So Donald talking about a 3:30, 4:30 is bullshit. And not only that, but let's also take in consideration that there's no way, because Hunter got dropped off at 2:30, and Hunter was in the car when Don Wells called Candace.
Right.
So there's no way on Donald's time frame, and that's what I'm saying. Don Wells keeps, he keeps changing up the story. He keeps changing things up to get you talking about this kind of stuff instead of his missing daughter, and focusing on the number one suspects in this case. And the number one suspects in this case is Don Wells, Candace Wells, and Candace Hare. So let us not forget that. Law enforcement ain't kicking open anyone else's doors. They're kicking open the Wells doors. Law enforcement ain't going to anyone else's doors wanting answers on the timelines and so forth. They're going to the Wells. No one else, was asked to show up at Hockin County's law office to do, to answer questions and do lie detectors tests, but the Wells were. And instead of voluntarily coming there, we have to remember they had to send a squad car and forcefully make Candace go down there and do what was needing to be done.
Well, hey, let me ask you about this then. And you have to understand, I don't believe nothing Don Wells said. Nothing. I mean, literally nothing. The man could literally walk up to me and say, I am a male human being. And like I said, I would have to have a doctor verify it because he's that much of a liar. But, okay, he had Cam when he first started coming back on YouTube. He got Cam to tell that the whole reason that DCS was out there on the 14th was because they were closing out the CPS case where somebody called and said the kids were on the roof and the baby had a little air pistol, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, when he did the interview on my channel, then he says that CPS was there on the 14th closing out the case. But after they left is when the kids got on the roof. So what was the case open for if it wasn't for the kids being on? I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe nothing he says. But my point is he gets his story so screwed up.
Child Protective Services had an open case because, well, we really don't know who called, but Allie was Candace's number one suspect in getting reported to Child Protective Services, right?
Well, I heard through a reliable source, trust me, it was reliable, that the church did. I don't know who in the church, but the church did make that phone call.
And that could be correct. Bottom line is someone felt the need to do so. And thank God they did. But then again, we got to say, hey, the system failed these 4 children, because at that time they had a chance to save them all, and
Yeah.
now there's only 3. But point being is, thank God. We got to still thank God that the 3 have been put in a better life now.
Yeah.
So Summers, what happened to Summer on June 15th, 2021 wasn't all in vain. I mean, it wasn't all in vain. At least she was able to save her brothers with whatever terrible thing happened to her. And it's got to be awful horrific, because they wouldn't feel they need to cover it up this much if it wasn't, right?
That's my whole point. If they were not involved, PG, they would not be telling so many lies. Plain and simple.
Exactly. That's correct. And the thing is, they have done nothing. They were sitting there telling law enforcement where their daughter isn't, so they must know where she is.
Right.
They're sitting there, and the main thing that's really got me irritated right now is search dogs came up there, and Don and Candace, I personally listened to them laugh about how they messed up the search dogs that first came up there.
Right.
That pissed me off for real, because you're needing to find your child. You're not that damn stupid to know that law enforcement's coming. Put the dogs away. You've got so many buildings you could put them in, yet you done nothing. Like you played dumb is what you did. And you think law enforcement don't know that? Of course they do. That's why the Wells are number one suspects in all of this. And
Well, not that it's gonna do any good, but I did have a conversation with Grady Judd's office today, and I did encourage the detective that I spoke with to see if he couldn't take a look into some things. And I'm hoping it'll do some good. I'm hoping somebody will try to poke around and see what might be going on in this area.
law enforcement is definitely they say the hills have eyes, right?
Oh yeah.
Law enforcement's got eyes, ears, and boots on the ground where this case is concerned. A lot of people think that law enforcement is not working diligently to get this case solved, but I'm here to assure you, yes, they very much are doing everything they can to get all they can get done in this case. This is a very complex case due to the simple fact that you have too many people looking for self-gain out of all of this. You got people looking for it, that know nothing, but they're looking for attention, so they're making stuff up.
Hence
you have
Candace's newfound cousin. What do you think about that?
her newfound cousin.
Yeah, have you not heard?
No,
Oh yeah, there's some
haven't.
woman making her rounds on the YouTube street saying she's Candace's cousin, and that Summer was taken on accident, that it was supposed to have been Marlena's daughter. And even named a couple of people that were arrested when Dudley was arrested. That's the people that has supposedly committed the crime.
Well, I call bullshit on that because I'll tell you why. Marlena's daughter hadn't been up on that hill for a while, and a lot longer while than Don Wells and Candace is actually trying to lead you to believe. Second of all, Don Wells, I just put it to you like this. Marlena's daughter had all of her hair cut off when everyone else had hair.
Right.
Summer did. Marlena's daughter was not the one doing what they call a runway video with a big for sale barrel that Don Wells seen and knew he could use with his criminal mind, right?
Right.
But his daughter was. And this is like just a couple weeks before she disappears. Let's go back, because that's what people need to do. You need to go back. And if you go back, Don Wells is talking about how he's crying a couple weeks before his daughter disappears because he knows she's going to, he knows he's done something and he's going to carry through with it. And she's no longer going to be there. He says, when I showed up on the property, June 15th, 2021, I knew what was tended had been carried out. So that tells us that he already knew what was going to be going down. And it all adds up because they have her, at this for sale barrel, and then they have her walk away, showing the back of her. Okay, come back forward. Now side view, come back.
Right.
I mean, it was like perfect setup for what these kind of sick humans do. And then, of course, law enforcement always says, do you have any enemies that, would do something like this or want to do something like what Don made himself an enemy out of Dudley by not firing him and not giving him his money so that he could use him for the enemy. This was actually orchestrated very well.
I wouldn't be surprised if this so-called cousin isn't a hired hand hired by somebody close to the Wells as a distraction to try to keep the narrative going of abduction.
The Wells have a lot of bootlickers, right? I'm not going to lie. They got a lot of bootlickers out here, a lot of supporters that, and how do they get those supporters? They seek out people that, are money driven, that they know will support them in order to have their presence around for the click, likes, and views, as they did with Cher, they did with Benny, and now they're doing with Miss Daisy as we speak. So, with that being said, there's people that will sell their soul for the nickel, right?
Yep.
And it's sad to see, it's sad to watch, because nothing good comes out of evilness or supporting evilness. Nothing good will come out of it. Nothing good came out of it for Cher. She damn near went ballistic, right? She lost it.
Come on up. I dropped the link for you.
And nothing came out of it for Benny, right? I mean, he about lost his freaking mind as well. And also, nothing is going to come out of it for Miss Daisy and those bootlickers as well. The point being is there's only two sides. There's the righteousness and there's evil. You got to be on one or the other. There's no Mr. in between, right?
Right.
People that want to walk down the middle of the road, the Bible plainly states you will be spewed into hell. Right. Ooh, that hurt.
Accidentally on purpose. Yes, they are two different people, hon.
So, with that being said, righteous people, the righteous side is supporting the righteous person, and in this case is Summer Moon Utah Wells, the very one that even the parents are not supporting at this particular time or have supported from the beginning.
I agree. And like I said before, I don't believe nothing Don Wells says. I asked him to, well, I didn't ask him. I did ask him in the past, but he asked me to come up on panel, and I gave him the opportunity to come up on panel and tell something, some small piece of truth, something, anything. And he could not even do that. And Don will not be, but I will not allow him back up here no more. I mean, I can't condone a liar. I cannot.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, because for Summer's sake, we need the Wells to speak. We need them to talk. I mean, there's a little truth in even their lies. So, the more we allow them to talk, the better. So, I hope you change your mind frame on that, because we really need them to talk. We ain't going to find Summer without it.
Well, he actually does more talking when he calls me and I talk to him on the phone. My only problem is my stupid little recorder messed up today, guys. Ugh. But anyways, Holly, you're more than welcome to come up, hon. I dropped the link for you.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. He absolutely.
Why did you kick Lisa J? I don't know this for a fact, but I heard you kicked her off of your panel or off your channel or whatever. Can I ask why? I mean, I know it's not my business, but
actually, I have Lisa up now and then still, but yeah, we did hit a rough patch there for a second, because Lisa's new to this YouTube world out here. I truly believe she's got a story to tell.
Yeah.
To educate people on, the Wells and the history of the Wells, because, history with criminals always repeats itself. And, we have Mary in Utah, putting out that, Don Wells was even trying to sell children there, right?
Yeah.
And as hard as, that is for we, the people, to believe, because our minds don't want to go there. Our minds don't want to go in that direction with anyone. But the point being is, so Don Wells and them were, hold on just a second.
Okay. It's been almost 2 years and they have done nothing at all to help find Summer. What makes you think they're going to start today? They're not. All she's saying is, what she's meaning is what I said in the beginning, which is you have to read between the lines. When all the lies are being told, you have to try to read between the lines. But I cannot have Dawn back on my channel and be cordial and not just go off. I can't. This child has been missing for 2 years, and all he can do is tell me to smile and, lighten up and don't take things so serious. And I'm sorry, I can't deal with that no more. I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry. But
I appreciate you coming up, PG.
Hey, I'm honored that you have me. But anyway, I know that Bob G, for some reason, this guy really dislikes PG, and that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their feelings, but when someone says, Don Wells is not a super educated human being. And you know, and I know that tended and intended is two separate things. But, you know, when people that are not super educated speak, this is how they talk. And, you know, so we have to take that into consideration. You
So
know,
you were just repeating what he actually said and not
exactly. But,
Okay.
you know, what he said, you know, you have to take in consideration how people like and what they're actually are saying. I mean, he said tended, but he meant intended. And then again, he could have said intended in his because his phone and so forth goes in and out as well. So, you know, the first part could have been missing. But, you know, let us explain why he said it was carried out on June the 15th. So, you know, his words let us know that, you know, what was intended was carried out on June the 15th, and he was well aware of what that was, you know, what was intended to be carried out as well.
right. I agree. I agree with you totally when it comes to that. I agree 100% that that's what he was saying. That
Absolutely.
he was saying it whatever happened, that's what was intended to happen. I agree with you 100% when it comes to that.
Right. But, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, I understand that you don't want the parents being the culprits of this because 99.9% of the time it is. It is. And yes, we strive to want one case where it's not that scenario, right?
Right.
We really do. And no one wanted the Wells to be more innocent than PG did, right?
Right.
I really wanted to believe these people were innocent, but all they kept showing me is how uninnocent they was and how uncaring they were, unloving they were.
Hang on 1 second, PG, okay?
Okay.
Bob, you know I love you, and I have myself said something about PG and her cursing, but this lady has not said one thing out of the way since she has been on my panel, and I greatly appreciate that. So if you do not like what's being talked about, Bob, you can come back for another session at a later date when PG's not here. But let's lay off for a little while, okay? Plain and simple, Bob. PG has conducted herself very professional since she's been on my panel. So we're not going to keep on. So knock it off, okay?
It's okay. Like I
No,
said,
it's not. I do not like that.
he is entitled. He's entitled to his feelings, and you know, I wouldn't want him to act any other way if that's truly how he thinks and feels. That's, you know, that's his right. This is America. That is, you know, the home of the free, the brave. It's a beautiful
I
place.
can't say anything, PG, during my game night when I was, giving hints as to which creator, I was talking about. The one that described you was, you would have thought this creator was in the military or in the Navy. And why is that? Because you speak like a sailor. I mean, I agree, but you've not said anything wrong since you've been here. So no, I'm not going to let anybody sit and disrespect you.
And
Plain
to be honest, in my private life, the one that we don't want people, you know, our real world, right? It's called
Yeah.
our real world behind all of this. I do not conduct myself like that. I mean, the PG you see, the PG you see each night is a whole different human being than you know what the people in the real world surrounding me. They would be totally shocked. They would be totally shocked as well. I'm sure their mouths would drop like, oh my God, you know, but
Right.
you know, the thing is,
That's one thing about being on YouTube. You can be whomever you choose to be. That doesn't make you that person in real life.
well, you know, in our real life, you know, the world, our background, what we're living in, we're not dealing with, we're not dealing with the lower type of human beings, right? I mean, what I'm saying is, when I wake up in the morning, I don't wake up to people like Don and Candace Wells. I don't wake up to people who hurt and destroy children, right?
Right.
I don't wake up to all of that. What I wake up to is a beautiful world, another beautiful day God has given us. And I wake up to, all the gifts that God has surrounded me with, and the beautifulness of this life. And yes, I also wake up with awareness that evil is in this world. And I have to, be educated enough to make sure that each day goes, the way that God planned it for us safely, right? And I know I have to keep my feet on that right path, that God goes before us. Jesus goes with us. Angels watch over us. And as long as we stay on that path, I know that, our day is going to be good. So this is how I live my normal everyday life. But when, it comes time to get on YouTube, now it's a whole different ball game, because now we are dealing with, you got to drop down on these people's level and actually fight. You're there to fight for these babies. You're there to get the answers needed for these children. You're there for a purpose. And regardless to, what it brings out of a human, a few cuss words, some anger, no matter what it brings out of a person, a buttered tongue to get some answers that is needed for this child, it don't matter. You got to be willing to do what it takes for what? For the victim.
Right.
So, excuse me, if I'm doing everything I can do and doing it in a fashion that I feel it needs to be done for these children.
Right. Unless there's a break in the case of Summer Wells, it will remain open until she is found or discovered unalive. Okay.
I don't think we're going to find Summer alive, personally. It's been 2 years almost. As of June the 15th, it'll be 2 years. I don't think we're going to do that. I think that, whatever Summer has endured, like I said, and I can't stress it enough, it was really bad. It was
Dana
super
Kay, I have
heinous.
to, Dana Kay, I love you to death. You know that, and I consider you a friend. But I have to disagree with you when it comes to that. You say God's angels do not watch over those who aren't committed to Him, but that's not true. Because if He did not, the ones that ask for forgiveness, He wouldn't be able to hear them if He wasn't watching over them.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. She doesn't read her Bible too thoroughly, because what the Bible tells us is God loves everybody, even the sinners, as much as He loves the ones that are not sinners. And that's what makes a lot of sinners not want to come to God, is because of people making statements like this. People making statements like this, just because you're saved, just because you have accepted God into your life and you're saved and you're walking with God, doesn't make you better than other people. And I wish Christians would quit acting like that. No, we are not better than anyone else. We are made of dirt. We are just blessed that God has called us before they have, before others is being called. But He called us in order to lead those other people. And He loves them just as much as He loves us. And Jesus didn't come here and die for the ones that's already, been saved and baptized and is walking in the light. He came here for these sinners that have not been saved yet. So
Well,
please
that's
stop
what
saying
my
he
mom
don't
always
love
said.
him.
My mom always said church is not made for saints, it's made for sinners. Because if
Absolutely.
everybody was a saint, then we wouldn't need the church or Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, and I don't like statements like that, you know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. It's just that, you know, God loves us all and we all should love one another. That's just
Mhm.
the way it is. It's the way it should be, right? I mean,
Yes.
the Bible don't want us to condone evilness. It doesn't want us to get in the cesspool and waddle in that kind of garbage. But it does. It does want us to, you know, understand understand and try to help anyone we possibly can to pull themselves out of the darkness and into the light. And that's what we're here for. We're here not only to you know, find our own way um
We're
to
here to
eternal
help other
life,
people.
but we are here to help other people find it as well. And how can you help someone else cross over if you haven't already crossed over yourself to the better life, the, you know, the eternal life? How can you do that? You can't. So as Christians, that is our job, is to help others and to
Hang on,
let sinners know that, you know, you are greatly loved by
hang on.
God.
Dana Kay has something to say. She said, "Oh my gosh, I avidly read my Bible, and she is a true Christian. She is." It says, "I will be more than happy to send you the scriptures to back up what I said. Sorry, Nana, you've list a follower lost. Is it supposed to be lost? You two are the people who need to read your Bible." Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Dana Kay. I truly am. All I was saying is that God does listen to everybody, not just the saved. Yeah, lost. I know that's what you meant.
Yeah. Well, in this case, I think the only Bible verse we need is him without sin cast the first stone. There you go. That sums it up.
But look how many people Summer Wells has brought together. Well, I believe Jesus Christ brought them together through Summer's name, but yeah.
I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you, Summer didn't only save her brothers, but she has brought the whole world together with love, peace, kindness, caring, to stand up and fight for her, to be her voice, and to do everything we can to make sure she's found and justice is served upon the evil beings that did this. There is a lot of good in Summer's case, whether people want to face that or not. That's, you know, that's totally up to them. Like I said, this is America, free country. But
Well, so I don't mean to interrupt you again, PG. Massey, Jesse, I agree. And in most situations, I would agree with that. But the plain and simple fact is I do not hide the fact that I'm a Christian and that I believe in Jesus Christ. And if people want to get upset, thank you, Danny.
amen.
I will read that, honey. Hang on one second. If
Amen.
people want to get upset because I say that God loves all, then people just have to get mad. That's all I can say. And Danny
Amen.
says, please read 1 Corinthians 5, which tells people what they're to avoid.
You deny me, and I will deny you before my Father. Like she said, people get pissed. That's your problem, not hers. She will not. She will not stand down when it comes to standing up for her God and her Jesus.
Right.
Absolutely not. And hey, girl, I respect that. Absolutely. God bless.
Thank you. But I mean, my mom, that's the one thing, all my kids' lives, I taught them never, ever, ever turn against the good Lord above. Ever. Never.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What can you lose in this life by standing up for God and Jesus Christ? Nothing. Nothing.
I know, Jesse. There's a reason that is a saying. I know. So let's get back to the subject at hand so people can
Absolutely.
smooth their feathers down. Plain and simple. I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know if we're ever going to find Summer or not.
Where we go from here is to allow the Wells to keep talking, to keep lying. And what they don't understand is it doesn't matter where they speak on this earth, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or anywhere else. What they don't understand, everything they say will and can be held against them in a court of law. Of course, they think that just because they say it to other people and not law enforcement, they're not committing a crime. But what they don't understand is you can't lie to law enforcement, and get away with it. Absolutely not. But also law enforcement is taking every word you say and they're pelling it up, to make a solid case against you, no matter where you're saying it at. And I think they obviously got something very solid. And from my understanding, a grand jury is going to meet next month. And I think the Wells are going to get prosecuted. And I think they know it because they've already moved out of Tennessee over into Arkansas. I think
I heard they were on their way back yesterday.
If they are, it's probably to just get the place ready to be put on the market. Maybe they're coming back to speak with a possibly coming back to speak with a realtor to
I'm still wondering if they're going to be able to sell that piece of property.
If they've got any sense at all, if they got any brains at all. And that's probably the best bet they could do. And it's just not because of law enforcement, but it's also because they have threw their whole community under a bus over a 5-year-old child, and no one wants that stigma on them. But now all of these people have that stigma because of what the Wells have done to them. And they're not going to take that lightly. They're not going to take that kindly. And I don't think the Wells are safe anymore in that community, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just saying. They have really crossed some super bad people that they should not have done that to, just to get the focus off themselves.
Right.
They shouldn't have done that.
Susan says, I'm just going to be honest. If it wasn't for Jeannie and Trish and Mary coming forward, I would not have sought the help that I need, that I thought I got over when I was a little girl. So healing too. Well, that's awesome, honey.
Amen. Yes, that is awesome.
Once before, and Jinkies was mad at her. I wish someone would pull a clip about Daisy saying horrible things about gays on the One Live. I don't know what that has anything to do with it, but okay. It wouldn't do any good for them to pull clips of her talking bad about the whales, which there are still a couple of them out there. She's gotten rid of all the rest of them, but yeah, I wish Tennessee had Grady Judd, hun.
Yeah.
Truly.
Tennessee really does have a great law enforcement. I have been researching, Hawkins County law enforcement, the background, so forth and so on, extensively. I have even researched some of their prior law enforcement as well. They really do have good law enforcement, and I honestly believe that they are diligently working to get this case solved with or without a body.
Oh, is that what she was talking about? Okay, they say that you bashed Trevor about being gay, PG. Somebody is saying that. I don't know. I didn't see it. So.
You know, that was taken completely out of context. Completely out of context. Miss Daisy took that because of what she said against justice. She went at justice very hard over his sexual preferences.
Okay.
And yes, I did backing. Absolutely, I did. What just his personal life and his background is his business, no one else's at all. Period. But
That's, I agree 100%. My son and his husband, obviously,
but
okay.
as far as Trevor goes, that was Daisy took it completely out of context in order to try to make me look bad. And hey, that's her right. This is America. That's okay. You know, that's okay. That is not the way it went.
Hey, Trevor. Trevor's in here. Hey, Trevor.
Absolutely. Trevor, I threatened to give him the steel-toe boot. He made a statement that he would like that. Actually, a very visual statement of how he would like it. And you know, as I said, we are all human, right?
Right. Well,
And I did not bash him. I just told him what the Bible. I just told him what the Bible said about people who say things like he was saying. I quoted him the Bible, so you know, don't hate PG, don't hate the messenger, right?
Well, the only thing anybody's saying is, did you apologize to Trevor for whatever was said? I don't know what was said, but that's what they're asking is, did you ever apologize to Trevor? That's what they were saying.
No, because he didn't apologize to me. No, I didn't, because he didn't apologize to me. I did not initially start what went down. I am not the one that insinuated, you know, what he was insinuating that he liked or did. I don't even think Trevor is gay, to be honest with you. I
never thought he was either, but
I think he was just being mean.
Okay, listen, he says, I forgive. It's been a long time. I'm not gay, but what was said seemed out of line. Okay. Well, I didn't think you were, and it don't matter if you were or you are or aren't, but
you know. So basically, you know, I didn't think he was. I just thought it was mean that he was saying what he said. And I quoted the Bible to him. And I'm not going to apologize for quoting the Bible to no one. I mean, you know, I do apologize that we got into the spat that we got into. But I will not apologize for quoting what the Bible says to no one. Okay. God's word, I will not apologize for. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree, Annabelle. Okay, that's over. Let's get back to Summer. Trevor is a great guy. He really is.
Trevor can be sweet. He can. But he can also be, you know, but we all are, right? Every last human on this earth, we all have a sweet side and we all have a sour one. You know, it's just, that's human nature.
Right. Hey, the way I look at it is, let me tell you something. The good Lord above gave me my child, and as he is who he is, I love my child. That's what God asks of me, is to protect and take care of and support my child. Absolutely. My child, however he leads his life, is the one that will be going before the good Lord above and answering for what he may or may not have done wrong in his life, whether it be steal a piece of candy or live a different lifestyle. Plain and simple, God says, take care of your children, protect them and love them and support them for who they are. And that's what I do. If somebody leads a different lifestyle than what I lead, that's for them to deal with, not me. It's none of my business. My son is happy in his marriage that he has been in for longer than anybody else's marriage that I know of, except for the people who's been married 50 and 60 years a long time ago. So I can't say nothing about it. Okay. Let's just drop the gay talk and leave it alone. Plain and simple. God
Exactly.
loves everybody.
You know, exactly. I think that you know, people's personal lives, they have it's called a personal life for a reason. It's personal. You know, they wouldn't call it personal if your life was everyone else's business, then there wouldn't be such thing as a personal life, right?
Exactly. And getting back to Lisa J, I'm still waiting, Lisa J. Are you in here? I would still love to know what you're wanting my government name for. Are you going to file taxes on my name, or are you going to order stuff out of the Finger Hut catalog in my name? Why are you needing my name?
I'm not sure why she's doing that. Like I said, you know, I'd love to seek the good in people and not the evilness in them. I mean, I know we have to be aware of the evilness and tread with caution, but there's also good in people. I don't know if she's just new to this YouTube world and these are the kind of things that, you know, that she feels, you know, needs to be done in order to build a channel or something. But to be honest, she's I have really been trying to teach her, you know, if you want a successful, you know, channel, you have to follow the guidelines, and there is guidelines to be followed. You cannot step outside of, you know, you don't, for one, you do not say the boys' names or any child's name in a case other than the victim. You do not put out, you know, information that, you know, should be given to law enforcement instead of YouTube.
Oh no, we
really
have to
important.
disagree on that. And you can't say anything because you used my information that I put out there on your channel. So you can't argue that point. I put the information out there so it doesn't get swept under the rug. And then I called TBI and turned it into them.
That, you know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that what I'm saying is not like what Dawn says or he on this channel or that channel or stuff.
No, I was talking about the jacket.
What I'm saying is I didn't say anything about you with the jacket. I said that Kathy should have took that to law enforcement. She should have taken that to law enforcement instead of putting it, you know, instead of putting it out here before law enforcement got an opportunity to question. What I'm saying is, if she'd have took that to Hawkins County and before it got put, I'm not saying it shouldn't have been out here. Yes, it's okay to put it out here after the fact, but give Hawkins County a opportunity to see it first and surprisingly question the wells upon it. Well, now that, you know, when it's brought out here first, it lets the wells think of what they're going to say and what they're going to do when law enforcement questions them now. This is what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference.
Kathy did not put the jacket out there. I told the truth about that. I literally called her up or messaged her and said, hey, do you have any pictures of Summer that's not already out there, because I want to do something unique in her birthday video. And whether Kathy sent that to me on purpose or not,
and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you had to do it. You had to do it because Kathy wasn't ever going to do it. She should have had that box to when she first saw it. She should have had it to law enforcement.
I agree 100%. as soon as she seen that jacket in
Yeah.
that box, she should have called TBI right then and there. I do
Amen.
agree 100%.
Absolutely.
And all the
Absolutely.
people that came at me wanting to know why I kept it secret for so long, I didn't keep it secret. I didn't realize I had the information. But the plain and simple fact is yes, I had the picture from February until May. And as soon as I realized what I had in my possession, I did report it. But everybody's asking me why I waited. Why did I wait? Why? Well, it was literally physically at Kathy's house in her possession for what, 6 to 8 months.
Absolutely. And
Why didn't
it was
she turn it in?
it was crucial information that needed to be turned in, and I totally and utterly agree with you. And I totally and utterly agree that it should have been taken to Hawkins County law enforcement where they could have called the Wells in and surprisingly questioned them about about the jacket, about the sundress, about the bag and suit. Why did you not hand us none of this for the search dogs? Instead, you act like you had nothing. They searched through a bunch of dirty clothes, pulled out a pair of socks, or Dawn is now saying, I heard it was a dirty sock. But now Dawn is saying that it was an old pair of shorts that could have been on anybody's backside. We don't know that they were on Summer's. And even if they were, they got contaminated with everyone else's smell anyway in the dirty basket. And here she has stuff. She has the jacket that was freshly on this baby. She has a sundress that was freshly on this baby that day. She has other things, fresh smell of clothing that she could have given law enforcement to find this little girl, and yet she did not do it. This is what I'm talking about. Candace has messed up this investigation every way she could purposely. And you don't do that unless you are guilty, in my opinion, right?
It's not just Candace. It's Dawn and Candace.
And Grandis. And Grandis, Dawn, and what I don't like also is they want to steer clear so much of this case, their missing daughter, their missing granddaughter, that they even think of Summer as an afterthought because they really don't want to talk about her at all. Oh, and Summer, of course, too, Grandis said. And then Candace says, my babies, and Summer. Why are you separating Summer from everyone else all the time? That's not right either. It's not natural.
No,
there's a reason for it. And the reason is you are trying to avoid talking about her due to the fact you're guilty as fuck. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't care to talk about her.
Watch your mouth. Now don't get me wrong, I get mad sometimes. I do.
And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to this case. It makes you angry. It would make a preacher cuss. It would make a preacher cuss. I promise you.
I agree. It would if they got into the position that we're in most of the time.
Because this is what the Wells are doing. This is what they're doing. And the longer this case goes, the harder it is to take it, right? The harder it is to take it. It just is what it is.
Right.
And you think that we are frustrated? Why don't you look at law enforcement? The ones that's really got this on their back, the ones that really have to solve it. Right. You have to excuse them for having an attitude. Of course they're going to have an attitude. They are beating their head against the wall.
Well, I personally wouldn't take anything to Hawkins County. I would take it to a neighboring county, or I would take it to TBI. If I'm going back to something you said a minute ago before I forget it, but you were saying things should be taken straight to Hawkins County. I would.
The Wells have beat down that law enforcement so bad. Why? Because they know that law enforcement is not for them. And they have mentally, I can tell you now, the Wells, no wonder they have so many followers, because they are super good. The Wells are super good. I mean, Don Wells is almost a baby Hitler, to be honest with you. And he has been able to, you know, he has been able to manipulate everyone's minds with the Hockin County's law enforcement and turn people against them and make them look like, you know, they're not doing their job and this and that. And how can they do their job if everyone's avoiding giving them the information? Because they are the main branch handling all of this. TBI is not the main branch handling all of this. Hopkins County is, and that's why Don does not want anything and everything turned into them.
Well, if I didn't have questions before the Brandon Lawson ordeal, that's right there would have put me over the edge.
And
Listen, nobody can be arrested. I can't even think right now with all the court dates and stuff, all the preliminary hearings and the bond hearing and everything. They cannot be arrested on Thursday and everything be done Monday. It cannot happen. The man was arrested, took to jail, bond hearing set, bonded out, the preliminary hearing done, and then have a court date, get sentenced and everything in 4 days. And 2 of those days was a weekend. The courthouse isn't even open on a weekend. So tell me, in 2 days' time, how do you get all of that stuff done? And he'll get 19 years of his 20 years suspended and still wind up sitting at home with an ankle bracelet. That don't happen. There's something wrong in that county.
You know,
there's something wrong in that county.
Ronnie Lawson's son, like you said earlier, our children are their own people. And we are to do nothing but love them. We are to do nothing but love them no matter who they are.
But Brandon Lawson does not have the pull to make all of that happen in 2 days' time.
And you know, I don't think Ronnie Lawson has that kind of pull as well. I really don't. Absolutely not.
Explain to me how you think it happened.
I personally believe this had something to do, you know, because there's a lot of channels that you have to go through. Ronnie Lawson didn't have anything to do with, you know, the way the judge handled and handed down whatever he handed down to Ronnie Lawson's son. I'm sure that the most Ronnie Lawson could have done was, you know, got on his knees and prayed with everything he had for his child and for his child to, you know, learn a lesson and live a better life. But
gee, you don't honestly believe that, right?
I do. As a parent, I know that, you know, we cannot control everything our children do.
I agree 100%. But I know if I was sitting in Ronnie Lawson's seat and my child got into trouble like that, I'm not saying I would defend a monster, and that's what that person is a monster. But I'm saying if my child got into trouble and I sat in the position that Ronnie Lawson sits in, you cannot tell me that I wouldn't use every tool at my disposal to get my child a lighter sentence.
Well, I think if Ronnie Lawson had the pull that people think he had, I think that his son wouldn't be on a registry. And he has to be on that. I think that, you know, many things could be going on, you know. The people that this happened to could have not been there pursuing it the way they should have been. You know, but I don't think it had, you know, personally, I think Ronnie was like, put it in God's hands, and however it turns out, that's the way it turns out, because my son should not have been doing what he did. And that's the way most law enforcement think, even when it comes to their children, because law enforcement took an oath to uphold the law and not be biased. And so they have to, this is the way you've got to think, even when it comes to your own.
Even if any of that is true, even if all of that is true, the plain and simple fact is there are procedures in the legal department part of the law, which means they are arrested. Getting arrested and booked into the system takes at least 2 to 3 hours. Then you have to get a bond hearing, which means you have to go in front of a magistrate, or you have to wait until the following day or the following week to go in front of the judge to get a bond set. After the bond is set, then you have to hire a bondsman to get bonded out if you have the money.
Right. But we have
After
to
that,
also,
hang on. After that, you have to go in front of for the preliminary hearing to find out if you're going to be held, if you want to take it over, for it to be held over to a grand jury or not, to see if there's enough evidence, or if you want to waive your rights and go ahead and let the judge rule your sentence right then. After that, depending on what you choose, then you have a court date, whether it be in front of the grand jury or in front of the judge. After that, then you get sentenced at another date. So tell me, how did all of these court dates that has to take place on Friday and Monday, and it's all over, done, said, sentenced, everything in 2 days?
well, there's people, that go for what they call the speedy trial, right? I mean, they get it. And not only that, but everything ain't going normal with, the C word going on out here. Things were really messed up, and they still are messed up because of the scare from the C word. And many people have lost their lives, right? We have lost so many of our American people due to that little C word as well. And nothing, there's a lot of things that we cannot explain right now that has been going on due to this one little hiccup, and yes, it has been a traumatic hiccup for our country, and nothing, we have to admit that nothing has been going right. So I don't hold all the answers in that because I don't have access to those files. If I did, I could tell you exactly how it happened, but I don't. And therefore, I don't want to be, I don't want to bear false witness against a man of law that I think really is doing, everything he can to uphold the law.
I'm not bearing false witness, PG. I'm just saying I think it's awfully strange that his father held the sheriff's office for 20 years without anybody ever running against him. When the second sheriff came in after he passed, that sheriff ran for office and only held the office for 2 years, or sorry, half a term, and then unalived himself. And then Ronnie Lawson steps in and nobody's run against him in all those years.
Well, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them because I'm going to be honest with you. It is very dangerous to get into law enforcement. I mean, there once upon a time, it was a big thing for, I come from a military family myself, right? And it was a big thing to, to do your time in service and serve your country and to do all of these beautiful things. And at one time it was, a big thing to, yes, you were honored to be on, the police force, because the police force was very highly looked up to, and these are the people that were keeping us safe every day, of our lives. They were doing what they were, putting their lives on the line, and they still are putting their lives on the life on the line.
I'm not against law enforcement
To protect us. But what I'm saying is is now people are actually targeting our law enforcement. They have been targeting our law enforcement for quite some time now. And doing what these officers and these people are doing for us is not easy. It's not easy. And surely should not be disrespected at all in any way. So, you know,
I'm not disrespecting anything, but I am posing the question.
there
that
is
people need to look at.
there is always a handful of dirty people in every professional area, every professional
Exactly. And
area of life.
just because he's the sheriff don't mean
That
he's
is
out of the
true.
money.
And you know, he's the sheriff. It doesn't mean that he had a hand in it, but it doesn't mean that he didn't. You know, what I'm saying is when the files become public and available, if his hands were in it, at that time people will know. And there could be a big lawsuit, yes, you know, against Hawkins County. I'm sure they would be, you know, for the victims in all of this. But, you know, right now we don't know. We don't know. And for Summer's sake, I just feel that we have to keep faith in all law enforcement to get, you know, her found and things done for her. I don't want to lose that hope.
I agree, common sense. I'm a huge LE supporter, but something is not right with HC. Absolutely 100%.
Well, I think Don has manipulated everyone's minds against, you know, against the law enforcement there. You know, and I agree, you know, I agree with people having some suspicion upon that law enforcement because, you know, I can't say that I didn't when Mr. Dobbs went up there with the deed in his hand to land that he actually owned, and law enforcement came out there instead of, you know, giving him a right of way to his land. He helped Andy Bernard and Jody Sue and them to run this man completely out of there, which I feel, you know, was wrong, and I don't, and I can't answer to why that happened. So yeah, I understand.
I'm not asking your name or anything, but do you live in Hawkins County? Because I mean, you did make that statement that one time, so I'm just curious. You seem very knowledgeable about the county and Ronnie and, you know,
I
and
I
protective.
I for my children's safety first and my own safety as well, I have to decline to answer that.
Okay, I mean, I understand, and I mean, I do understand what you're saying. Had to ask. I mean, you just seem very protective of law enforcement in the county and all that. And it was just struck me as odd.
I'm very protective. You know, Summer's case is what brought me out here, right? Summer's
Yeah.
case is what brought me out here, and I'm very protective over Summer's case. And I just refuse to lose faith in any area that I feel could help her and bring her home and
But
get justice for her.
isn't TBI a better law enforcement than local LE?
I don't know a lot. You know, I don't know a lot about about how great TBI is, due to the fact that they are Tennessee. You know, what I'm saying is people want to separate TBI from Hawkins County. Okay, you can do that, but TBI is also Tennessee law enforcement as well. So, you know, any way you look at it, you're dealing with all the same thing, and they're laughing because you are separating it when they are indeed one.
But they're not. They're not one.
They all work together. They work diligently together. And anything you hand to TBI, Hawkins County gets access to it anyway. So, it didn't matter which one you gave it to. They all have access to it.
But the difference is if you hand something to a county sheriff's office and there are bad cops in that department, that evidence could be swept under the rug. Whereas if you hand it to the state, which is TBI, and then Hawkins County gets access to it, then if there's any bad cops at the sheriff's department, they can't have the opportunity to sweep it under the rug. The bigger agency knows about it already.
Law enforcement is a brotherhood, a sisterhood. All of law enforcement, it doesn't matter what counties you come from.
TBI is not FBI. TBI is Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. FBI is federal government.
Correct. FBI is a whole new ball game. They're federal. And that's a whole new ball game for everybody. So and the feds are working on this case as well. And in the Federal Bureau of Investigation, there is like the greatest minds. This is what they hire. I mean, you have to have some super great degrees and top of the class to be even accepted into that to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So with that being said, you've got some of the greatest minds in the world working on Summer's case in that aspect. And when and it twinkles down, right, to TBI and Hawkins County and so forth. Now, with that being said, and Don and Candace and Grandis being the number one suspects in law enforcement's eyes, it pretty much gives you an idea of where all of this, is coming from. And it's coming from, in my opinion, the greater minds working in this investigation, which is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, to be honest with you. And we cannot turn our head from the fact that TBI is the ones that personally asked Don Wells, did you sell your daughter? They asked this question. And they don't ask questions like this unless they have a reason, some reason to believe that this may be the case of what happened. They don't even go there. And I think that is why the FBI came into it all, because when you're looking at a scenario like that, then usually the child has been moved outside of the city and state limits, right?
If they were moved out of the state, then the FBI would be over it. Plain and simple.
Well, they're still all working together as one due to the fact that, that is a suspicion that law enforcement has right now at this particular time. But regardless to whatever happened June the 15th, 2021, law enforcement number one suspects are the three people on the hill. And the 3 people on the hill have done nothing but fight to keep the attention off of them and on to anything else that they can possibly get it on to keep their daughter from being found. And that's what's real suspicious. That's what's real suspicious. I'm not going to go attacking anyone that's actually diligently working to find this child. I'm going to go after the ones that are not working to find their child, especially when the child belongs to them. Right?
Okay, you're old. Oh, you're so old. You're so, I guess. Anyways, that's why the U.S. Marshals are on the Summer Wells case now. Where did you hear that from? I have not heard that. Have you heard that, PG? That U.S. Marshals have been called in?
No, I have not. I have not
my
heard
goodness.
that. I have not heard that whatsoever at all. I know that Hawkins County is the main law enforcement on this. Pruitt is the one over it. I know that TBI is taking in information, and everything they take in will be handed down to law
Well, actually,
enforcement.
Derek Newport is the agent at TBI that's over Summer's case.
And I know that um I know that you know the FBI is still placed in all of this as well, due to the fact that there is a suspicion that the Wells possibly sold Summer. So these are the things that have been brought to my attention. So law enforcement is led to believe they are led to believe that whatever happened to Summer Moon Utah Wells, the Wells have all knowledge and could answer all the questions if only they would step up and do so for their daughter. But as we can see, they're doing nothing for any of their children. All they want to do for is themselves. That's life, right? It is what it is. And I don't say that. I don't say that meanly. I say that because, that's the only thing that keeps us going. That's the only thing. Sometimes we got to say it is what it is to keep moving on, because this case is very mind-boggling. It is super complex. Like I said, you got a lot of people in this case saying things when they know nothing, and then others know a lot and are saying nothing. And Kathy, the friend, is one of those who is standing there holding cards and playing a game of fucking poker. And I personally don't like it,
Please, what?
but there's nothing I can do about it, right? Nothing I can do about it. So, yeah, excuse my French.
Nana, you can look it up. USMS is collaborating with local law enforcement in Tennessee for the new task force to help and assist in missing children cases. They just recovered some children. I believe it was down next to Chattanooga, wasn't it, Vet Girl? Just because the it's cart. I don't believe it's card. Anyway, said no sign of abduction, in my opinion, doesn't mean the feds are not still working hard with TBI.
Because you if you sell a kid, why call the police?
Yeah, I was reading.
If you sell a kid, you still got to report it missing, or
Yeah,
or somebody else will. And let us remember that they had child protective services already on them, and all awareness that Summer exists. So
right,
yes,
that's what I was fixing to say.
they have to report the child missing. I mean,
They
you
have to have
know,
a reason why the child is not going to be there the next time CPS shows up. And you
and
can't judge them.
why she wasn't going to be showing up at school,
Yeah.
and why the neighbors weren't going to be catching sight of her anymore. So yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Thank you, Batgirl.
but Jody Sue did make Jody Sue did make a statement similar to the one that we just heard.
Yeah.
I remember her doing that. Okay, hey, listen, I appreciate you having me on your panel. It
Oh,
was
you're
good to
welcome.
be up here, and
Anytime.
yeah, I got to get back to work, but it was great coming up speaking with everybody.
We
So
appreciate it. Thank you, Prayer Garden.
God bless and much love.
You too, hon. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye bye. Well, that was a surprise. Well, allegedly, Don already tried to get rid of Don Jr. per his step family who stepped in allegedly. No, actually, it was his or little Donnie. It was his mom that actually stepped in and got him and took him to his grandparents' house. I do appreciate PG coming up, and I do appreciate her. I mean, I understand a couple of slips. I don't have a problem with that, but I appreciate her watching her tongue while she was on here. Greatly appreciate that. Junkies, flunkies, and wastoids. Oh my. You think so, Justin? I don't know. I mean, I like hearing what other creators have to say when they actually want to sit and discuss and talk about it. As a matter of fact, I was looking at that 8-hour live that I did with Scott H way back last year. I was thinking about breaking it down and putting some of it back out here because I remember there was a lot of interesting stuff in those 8 hours that was discussed. I wouldn't mind if I would like to have a couple of different creators come up and us have a real discussion. No arguing, no bashing people. So there are two adults came forward and said they were SA'd at a young age. Then you have friends that are serving 120 years for SA. Does this all? Yeah, I agree. That's sort of does it sound good to anybody? No, it doesn't. I agree 100% with you. I understand, hon, but I'm not going to be disrespectful to anybody. If people want to come up and talk, like I've said 1,000 times, this channel belongs to everybody, not just me. Thank you, all in tanks. Thank you. Lisa J is currently active on Facebook. Well, if anybody is a sub to her, can they go over and please invite her to come over here? I would love to still get an answer. I don't want to be surprised and, find myself $50 million in debt somewhere. What do you mean? So this is who gets money from YouTube? Um, anyways, Cash App to the peeps involved. Oh, I'm hoping you're not talking about me. I mean, I'm assuming you're not, but it's very seldom you and a few others are the ones that are generous when it comes to my channel. So, well, thank you, Common Sense 101. Thank you. Thank you, Vet Girl. I appreciate that. Huh? I didn't think you were, but I just wanted to make sure. Nana, I'm sure Lisa J has heard you were wanting to have a conversation with her, and she's obviously guilty, or she would explain herself. Well, I don't know about the word guilty, but, you know, come on. If you are asking for my government information, then you should at least have the respect to come and tell me about it. Oh, I don't know who it was then. She's talking about the Cash App scrolling for the whales on other channels. Oh, okay. I got you. Good afternoon, Cotton Candy. Does anybody want to come up? Does anybody have anything they would like to say in response? Besides Bob, we all know what Bob is saying. Yeah, it's not cool. I mean, I have to respect the person that I was told that started the bullcrap back around Christmas time about the Christmas tree thing and got everybody started, you know, down to me or whatever. That person's actually the one that got a hold of me and said Lisa J had gotten a hold of them and was asking them for my information, my personal information. And she said that she would not give it. Let's see. Let me find it here. I just thought it was very odd. And I wanted to know why. Okay, it says, girl, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that someone was wanting to know your government name. I won't and would not give it out. Do I have respect for you? And my channel is gone. Been gone for about 2 weeks. Can't take the drama. Whatever you do, please be careful. And I said, who was asking? They said, a woman named Lisa Jetton. I said, okay, thanks. And they said, you're welcome. So I do appreciate them getting a hold of me and letting me know. I'm not surprised. Hate to say it, but I'm not surprised. Why are you not surprised? And does anybody have a clue who the cousin could be? Has anybody compared? Somebody, I heard somebody talking about that their voice sounded familiar to them. I'm not, sweetheart, but there's like tons of people. I've probably got 40 people on my phone that has my phone number and knows my real name. I don't try to hide anything. I have nothing to hide. But I don't plan on, just handing out my information either. But I did want to come in here and call her out, and so that people know that she's asking for my information in case something does go haywire. I'm sorry, PGX, like she is the all-knowing busybody, and can never put facts behind her statements. I can't with her. Right? Okay, the cousin. If there's a huge drug bust and that drug bust has a snitch, LE everywhere, and they are going to just let someone take a child, in my opinion, no. So that's why I say I think that possibly this cousin was hired to make these phone calls to the YouTubers to try to give validity to the abduction scenario. Okay, they can't convince us that Summer was abducted. So now they're going to try to slip in a story that it was supposedly another child going to be abducted. For what? I mean, what reason would they have for abducting Marlena's child? Even if she owed a bill, the same scenario goes with her child as it did with Summer. No drug dealer is going to want a small child that they have to worry about in repayment for a drug debt. Exactly. It's just another twist to make the Wells look better in the, yes, exactly. Who is Lisa B? I keep seeing people talk about Lisa. I don't know who Lisa B is. When facing criminals fighting for their victims, it's always best to hide your identity. Those who go real life will get a ride awakening when they make an undercover agent. Okay. She snitched while she was locked up, but I don't know anybody that's going to take a child to repay. Why would you take, okay, if somebody snitched while they were locked up, you're going to go and kidnap their kid so they can go snitch some more? No, you're going to go and take care of the person that snitched. No one's going to be able to take a child from a huge drug bust with multiple agencies involved way prior to arrests, right? Exactly. Jody Sue was talking one night and said she didn't think Summer was the intended child. I just assumed she meant her daughter, but she may have been talking about Marlena's daughter. Dealers hide drugs. How are they going to hide a child? The people that the cousin mentioned are small, not large cartel. Yeah, and you have to wonder, one of the biggest dudes in the drug cartel just got busted in North Carolina. You have to wonder if maybe he didn't, set out some names and get other people arrested. Or wait a minute, he was arrested after those were arrested, so maybe they snitched him out. Lisa Baumgardner, she's one of your subscribers. Yes, she is. Why? Okay, so Cotton Candy says Jody Sue Brown did mean her own daughter. She watched that live. What makes Hawking County so interesting to drug cartel? In my opinion, they would have taken everyone out and not a child. Exactly. That's what I think. Sorry, guys. I'm trying not to cough in your ears. No, I didn't know that. Did you all know that the Kentucky horse racing is the biggest children traffic area? No, I didn't know that. I think it is too, hun. Totally think that it's bullcrap. First of all, like I said before, if it was Candace's cousin, wouldn't they be staying at Candace's house? Wouldn't they have been talking to Candace? They would. And Candace can holler she don't know who it is or she don't know them, whatever. I almost guarantee you Tim Mullins hired that person to make those phone calls, to call in and go up on panel, and just another distraction to get, throw a wrench in the works is all it is. Who are you talking to, Love Spell? Are you talking to me? Says Lisa went to school with the same last name as yours, not common. Have you lived in Oregon? Oh, well, Lisa Bumgardner's in here. I wasn't ignoring your text. I agree, Justin. Don't give those other stories validity. That's what they want. I agree 100%. Discovering, I wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't see you. Somebody timed you out or something? Distract and deflection is the name of the game for them. Summer must remain the focus. I agree. When I'm on my iPad, I'm on Nana's moderators. I've been with Nana a long time. Yes, Lisa has. And I don't believe this is Lisa B. Are you Lisa B? Lisa Bumgardner? Are you Lisa B? The guy was arrested a whole month later from Summer going missing. I don't know, guys. That's right. I was trying to get her to apologize. I'm not gonna. I call everybody out, guys. I mean, if you've done something wrong, then I'll speak up. I had not heard. I heard about Cow Lady saying something about, was it Justin or Trevor one, but I didn't hear about the other stuff. Yeah, all these Lisa letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What I do not understand is why PG was so damned and determined that Hawkins County should be the one that everything goes to. I don't get that. Okay, see there, guys? She is not the Lisa B that we're speaking of. Lisa Aldridge is saying that she's thinking about changing her name. I don't blame you, hun. That's almost like having the name Andrew or Candace or Dawn in this case. Your name is Lisa too? Oh, geez. Oh, Lord, guys. Yeah, I would be glad that you went with Ladybug too, hun. Who? PG's son is in law enforcement. Well, okay. First of all, in my opinion, and it doesn't matter, I myself right now am fighting against people trying to dox me. But I will have to say, when you are asked a specific question, like, hey, PG, you made the statement yourself that you live in Hawkins County. So, not asking where you live, but do you live in Hawkins County? Because you sure seem like you do. And she says, for my children's protection, I refused or I declined to answer. Sorry, that tells me what? She lives in Hawkins County. So now, do we remember the elderly lady that retired from the sheriff's department that went on Ziggy's panel and was telling stuff that Ronnie Lawson had told her? Could that possibly be PG? I mean, not that she sounds so intelligent, but she does sound very informed of stuff that she should not have knowledge of. Not saying that it's all true, but I'm just saying she sounds informed. Could there be a possibility that she's one of the old secretaries or something that was out in Hawkins County? Maybe that's why she feels so protective over the sheriff's department and Ronnie Lawson. Maybe that's how she knows Don Wells so well. And I'm telling y'all, something struck me funny. When PG had Don Wells up on her panel, and she was talking about Summer and talking about what Summer's eyes looked like and what Summer's hairline was like and how pretty she was and what a personality she had. I thought it strange that she was sitting there telling Dawn and Candace what their child looked like and how she would act. But it really makes me wonder exactly how long has she known Dawn and Candace and Summer? Shoot, for all we know, Prayer Garden could be Clyda Trent. There's a new theory to run with. It's got to be somebody that has met and spent time around Summer, right? What's going on? Discovering. What is going on? Okay, really nobody's seeing my comments because I think only another managing mod can hide or time me out. What the hell is happening here? Well, that's the first one I've seen, sweetheart. And there's only 2 of you, and the other one's not in here. Yeah, I don't see any of your other comments. There's one. Can I be timed out? LOL, I don't know. Can y'all see my comments, or is Nana really ignoring me? I'm not ignoring you. I'm really not ignoring you. Why were you blocked, Trevor? I'm so sorry if anybody's getting blocked. Nobody should be getting blocked. Nobody. Yeah, I'm really starting to wonder. I mean, especially after her saying that she was from Hawkins County. Well, she didn't say she was from Hawkins County. She said something to the effect that Cow Lady didn't know the weather down here, talking about Hawkins County. Something to that effect. Maybe one of the wives on the hill, yeah. It's not a big deal at all. Could have even been YouTube on my end. No biggie at all, friend. Well, I'm glad, sweetheart, but understand that you would not be timed out. I don't see anybody in here that would be timed out or blocked. Oh, that would be interesting to find out. I agree. She makes those slips often. I'm feeling a little bit better, second to no one. I really am. Trying to figure out what's going on with people being blocked and discovering. I'm still not seeing anything else from discovering. Ladybug, I don't remember her saying anything about her partying on the hill, but she said she has been there. Hello, V. How are you today, sweetheart? She took Dawn to the liquor store. In the beginning, she said she lived a few miles from the wells. Well, there you go. Yes, I agree with you. The dialect does say Appalachian, yeah. Well, what actually caused me to go live, second to no one, is because I was contacted and told that Lisa J is trying to find out what my government name is. So I came on here to raise Cain about that and get her to come up here and tell me why she's wanting my government name. And basically to put it out there so that if in case something stupid happens, everybody knows that, she was going after me. This should be a board game. I'll catch you later. I love you. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you, sweetheart. You have a great day, hon. Thank you for being here. And I'm sorry about the mix up. You know how things are on YouTube. The whales like her cause she posts the whales cash app. Well, trust me, I am never, you'll never see a day that I would post cash app for them. Maybe that's what took Dawn so long to come up on my panelist, because I refuse to do that. Well, thank you, sweetheart. I don't really care either. When I ask her, I mean, I don't care about the answer, but if you're not going to answer, then just say you're not going to answer, or, say you live somewhere else. Why, when you sit there and say, I refuse to answer that tells everybody that's the answer. And that didn't make any sense, but y'all know what I mean. I agree. It's not anybody's business. Well, I don't watch her enough to know, Justin, so. I'm just thankful that she got up here and she acted very respectful and had a decent conversation with me, and there was no problems whatsoever. Very appreciative of that. Okie dokie, guys. Well, we got about 20 more minutes to go and we'll be on here for 3 hours. Let me ask y'all something. Would y'all be interested in if I break down that 8-hour live with Scott H? Would anybody be interested in hearing some of the stuff that he had to say way back, a year and something ago? Sorry, coughing fit again, guys. PG has never posted a Cash App for anyone. She asked for help for H to get a new phone. That's it. Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I don't know. I don't watch her that much. Thank you for becoming a member, sweetheart. All I'm saying is I would not post anybody's Cash App. I've not learned my lesson, but I learned my lesson back when Marlena was trying to extort money from me. Yeah, he does have a lot of information about the area. Okie doke, I'll see if I can't get that done. So, I mean, I was just looking at it yesterday, and I think PG doesn't do Cash App. Okay. I was just thinking that there's probably a lot of good information in that. Because, I mean, we started late, and I'd already done 2 hours when he finally came up, and then he talked for 6 hours straight, guys. And there's a lot of information in that 6 hours. Oh, I don't think he did. The red truck, I don't think so. Yeah, he's not on the Wells side, honey. He's not a Wells supporter. Can somebody drop Scott H's link, please? I see you. Do you have it? Is he a criminal with a record? Who's Scott H? No. Absolutely not. Scott H is a YouTube creator he's a good guy. No, he's not a criminal. Feel better, Nana? I'm going to lay down. I woke up sick this morning. I'm praying it's not what my daughter has. Honey, I'm praying right along with you. Nobody needs to have this crap. Nobody. And I do say a prayer that you won't get sick. Yeah, Scott is a good guy. He did when he was very young from drinking and driving. Seems a good guy. What? Went to jail? Bye, Leah. You have well, I won't say have a good time, but, have a good day, hun. My sympathy goes out to you, whoever you lost. He might have a DUI way back. Scott is upfront about his past and learned from it. You have a great evening, hun. Oh yeah, that's right. I think in the 8-hour live he does talk about something like that. But a DUI is a whole totally different story than actually having a criminal past or something, guys. It's not like he went out here and robbed a bank or something, or hurt somebody. Hello, Miss Christola. Scott H, sweetheart. Talking about Scott H. He is a good man. Oh. Anyways, guys, if anybody knows how to get a hold of her, Lisa J, please tell her to get a hold of me. Give her my email address, whatever. I don't know if Marlena is locked up. I do know that she does not have her child. Her little girl went to live with her sister May of last year, I believe it was. We all make mistakes. As long as you learn from them, that's important. Right. I don't see him as a bad guy or as, a lawbreaker or anything like that. That's why it never occurred to me that somebody could be speaking about a DUI or some stupid stuff. To me, what you do in your past doesn't define who you are. Well, second to no one, PG has been on here. She was on here for like 2 hours, so. You messaged her and she read it. Okay. Yeah, he's still on there, but he actually shows his face now instead of his little symbol. The best way to help Summer and other children like her is to become a foster family. Absolutely. Yes, they definitely need more good foster families to take care of kids. They don't have enough. That's why they have children sleeping on the office floors and stuff, is because they don't have space for them when they do remove them from the home. I think your past does matter because it helps make you better because you learn from it. Well, yeah, but you shouldn't be judged on your past. Everybody likes Scott. He's just not on all the time. Right. You're behind, or is it me? What do you mean? You might be behind. I'm not sure, sweetheart. We're talking about Scott H. I have an 8-hour live that Scott came on and did with me over a year ago. And I was asking if anybody would be interested in me breaking it down into smaller chunks so that it could actually be listened to. your past does matter when your child is missing and you are a lifetime criminal. Yes, but that's not what we were talking about. I mean, I have never heard her to be on a daytime panel either, and I thought about asking her about it, but I didn't. But yeah, she was on here she was on here over 2 hours. And very respectful, by the way, should I say. She only said the F word twice. Just wondering if anyone has done a deep dive on Marlena. Just seems sus with all the fake birth certificates. I wondered about that myself. Yeah, the fact that what was she needing with all those fake birth certificates of kids that were Summer's age? Cotton Candy, I saw you reply to something about 90 minutes ago that was current. 10 minutes ago. Okay. I see you. We were talking about people who make a mistake or mess up a couple of times, not Dawn and Candace. Yeah, we're talking about like DUIs and stuff like that. Alrighty, guys. We got a few minutes left. We can start saying our goodbyes, and I will tell you all thank you so very much. I mean, absolutely 100% thank you for being here. And I appreciate the support, especially when it comes to the Lisa J thing. Right. I agree. She is. Don't mess with the bee. Hang on one second, guys. Hang on, I gotta get a wasp before my kitty cat gets it. How it got in here, I don't know. Okay, it's gone. Lawson's son should have gotten years. Yes, he should have. Anyways, though, guys, like I was saying, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for coming in and listening. And thank you, Prayer Garden, if you're listening. Thank you for coming on panel. I enjoyed our chat. It's time for me to go and take some Tylenol, guys. If you must know. We support you, Nana. Never support doxing people. I know people are curious and looking to people, but it is not relevant to Summer. Keep that crap to yourself. I want everybody to have an absolute wonderful day. Thank you, Dumpling. I will do my best, sweetheart. You too. I love you too, Christola. All right, guys. I love yous all. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in June. I think. Maybe not. I might see you tomorrow. Is tomorrow June? Nope, tomorrow's not June. We still have one more day of May. but I will be doing. I'll probably be breaking down some of Scott's when he was on panel. I'll probably break down some of his stuff and put it out tomorrow. All right, guys. I love you. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.